Hello there, and welcome to Newsvoice. I'm Keith Foster. Newsvoice, of course, is the app which breaks your filter bubble and brings you news from all manner of sources, from the left, from the right, and everywhere in between. And apart from just reading those things, you can also submit them yourselves. I'll tell you more about how you can do that after our guest interview, and we don't want to waste too much time because on the program today we have a man who never shirks controversy, a man who became famous in the UK first by comparing himself to Jesus, who accused the British Prime Minister of being a sexual predator of children, and who has talked about how the world is ruled by reptilian shapeshifters. Yes, David Icke. Now, David Icke continues to publish material in books and online, away from all those lurid headlines. And as he says himself, he's engaged with joining the dots, trying to work out who's ruling the world and how they're doing it, and to sort of examine the human condition at the same time. So, is he a conspiracy theorist? Is he a dangerous madman? Or is he an insightful analyst? David, welcome to Newsvoice. In recent months, one thing that has featured in the news has been people who report the news in their own way being banned from social media platforms, like, for example, Alex Jones of Infowars.com. So I wonder what your views are on that, and if you've ever been banned yourself.
My views on that are many. I had a strange experience in the last year when Facebook banned me, and then there was a reaction to it online, and suddenly, without giving any reason to be banned, they gave me no reason to put me back, but they did, which is bizarre. But you see, it doesn't matter what people think of Alex Jones or what people think of anybody. What matters is that we don't censor what people say before the point of delivery, because that is a very, very dangerous road. And what's happening now with people, not just people like Alex Jones, so that's a kind of high-profile example, but so many people with an alternative spin on life have been banned and had their channels deleted by YouTube, been banned or ghost banned, as I am, by people like Facebook and Twitter, where you can actually physically post, but their algorithms make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And for a long, long time, the internet was fantastic. It was fantastic for people like me, because you could have the free flow of information, and the free flow of debate was brilliant. But that's not the end game. That was the fishing line going out.
So that freedom was just a blip. That was just a one-off. Yeah,
and then to pull you in, right? So now, because internet's a great thing, and great, it dominates people's lives. And then at the same time, you're starting to introduce companies like Facebook, like Google, etc., YouTube, owned by Google, of course. And again, what do you have at the start? Oh, free flow of information. Oh no, we don't ban, we don't censor. No, isn't it great, man? You see my grey t-shirt? Hey, I'm one of you, man. But then, once this point of near monopolies arrived, suddenly the game changes. And now those organizations, like, of course, I know from my own experience writing books, Amazon would publish anything, would sell anything, but not anymore. And we've only seen the start of it. This is the real thin end of the wedge that's starting with Amazon. So the idea is to get control, get a monopoly situation virtually on the communication of information, whether it's books or social media or search engines. And then once you've got that, fishing line pulls in. And what we're seeing now is this extraordinary, blatant, we don't care anymore if you know, censorship that's going on across the internet.
So you're saying there's not just a commercial reason for that there's an aspect of control as well.
The real reason is to keep surveillance, fine detailed surveillance on everybody, and B, to dictate what they see and hear. And if you're talking about freedom, What other freedom survives if you don't have the freedom of speech?
Do you fear being silenced yourself?
Oh, well, of course. I mean, they'd love to silence me. They have more of a problem with me because I don't go on, red-faced rants. I try to put the point over and back it up with information. And but of course they want to shut it down, and they are shutting it down in ways that are not kind of blatant, like with Alex Jones. They've basically sat around a table, symbolically or literally, and they've looked at the alternative media and they've said, okay, how do we dismantle it? Well, how is it funded? Well, most people, a lot of the alternative media, they get funded by advertising income from their YouTube videos. Okay, we'll go for that. What we'll do is we'll make an excuse about unacceptable or controversial content, and we'll demonetize anything like that. Okay, that has been devastating for a lot of people in the alternative media. So you can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to pick off the alternative media, and of course, if they're going to go for someone with well, fame's not the word, although it's true, but what the wide spread reach of someone like Alex Jones in America, then obviously they're confident enough to go for anybody.
Who are they? I mean, we talk about Silicon Valley being the communications channel of this controlling sect or elite. Who is after this control?
It's not the here today, gone tomorrow politicians that run the world. It's the permanent government. It's that structure that's always there, that which controls banking, the intelligence agencies, the military, government administration, etc., the corporations. And so what you have is basically a web. And at the center of the web, that you've got the controlling force, call it the spider. And immediately around the spider, the strands are the most exclusive secret societies, which only the most elite of the elite even know exist, never mind are members of. And then you come out from the spider, and you're still in the unseen, still in the hidden, but now you're hitting the secret societies we know about, which are very compartmentalized. So most people in the Freemasons, for instance, have no idea what the Freemasons is being used for. They only know their little compartment, and they think it's all right, good for business, get a few good contracts this way, but they don't know the big picture of what it's part of. And you've got the Knights Templar, of course, which is still massively influential today, and they go back to the 12th century. This is how long this has been going on. You then reach, as you come out from this web, what I call the cusp organizations. This is the point where the hidden meets the seen. So you're coming out of the secret societies into the semi-secret groups that we know about, but we don't know what really goes on with them. And these are the Bilderberg Group, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the Club of Rome, which was created in the 60s to use the environment as an excuse for global transformation. And then through them, now you're hitting the world of the scene. Now you're into governments, government agencies, corporations, banking systems. And it seems to the public, understandably, that the decisions being made to direct their society and their lives are being made in the world of the seen. But they're not. They're just playing out something that's being decided in the unseen. And so, for instance, if in the seen part of the web, you see Facebook, you see Google, you see Twitter, you see the banking system, you see the intelligence agencies, but you go from them into their hidden, and the same force is holding the strings of all of them. So ultimately, at that level, Google, Twitter, Facebook are the same organization. Amazon too, same organization. That's how it works. It's all a psychological hoax.
David, do you think most people would accept? I think I probably would accept something of what you say about how the world is controlled and the Illuminati, as has been called, or the spider, or whichever term you'd like to use. But do you think most people have problems accepting the ideas of bloodlines of reptilians and shapeshifters?
What are the chances of humanity being the only form of what's bravely called often intelligent life, when we are aware of only a smear of 0.005% of this universe. And if you take the mainstream science projection of the size of the universe, then planet Earth, by comparison, is a billionth of a pinhead. Anyone think there might just be a chance that outside of this narrow frequency band, beyond this billionth of a pinhead, there might just be other life that is not like us? I think there might be a chance. If you go deeply into the nature of reality, which is fundamental to understanding what the hell is going on in the world, that's why they don't want us to know about it, you start to realize that these concepts, which in one line, thrown away line, sound crazy, shape-shifting, what's he on about, actually can be explained, actually in the end, quite simply, once the nature of reality is understood. If information, particularly say about the nature of reality and it's the physicality or the illusory physicality we think we're interacting with, if people don't understand that, then concepts that would otherwise be explainable become wave of the hand dismissal. Because if you think the world is solid, and of course quantum physics has shown that it isn't, then things like shape-shifting and many other things that I talk about are impossible. And so when you've got a mainstream media saying this is what he's saying, but without this background, of course, what are most people going to do? Load of rubbish, mate.
David, do you see an end to humanity coming up soon? Do you see us ending up as energy sources for the spider, as you put it, in the near future?
Oh, 100%. I don't get up out of the bed in the next room at 5:30, 6 o'clock every morning and continue all day, 7 days a week, because it's good for me health. I do it because we are heading towards a point of some kind of endgame where all this has been leading. And that is quite simply connecting the human mind, human body mind, to artificial intelligence. I've been warning about this for ages. The whole endgame is to connect the human mind to artificial intelligence, because up to this point, humans have been controlled by control of perception, and perception has been dictated by control of information from which people get their perceptions. This endgame is about going beyond that and creating a situation where the artificial intelligence is human perception. It is our thoughts and it is our emotions. Now, I'm not sitting in a darkened room, well, darkening now as we come to evening, pulling this out of the ether. Just look at the quotes of people like Google's Ray Kurzweil, this so-called futurist who claims an 80% success rate in predicting technological advancement. Well, if you know it's coming, if you know what's coming, predicting it's pretty easy, mate. Anyway, what he's saying is that by 2030, and we're talking in 2018, this whole AI connected to the human brain will be underway. And in his words, the more that AI becomes more advanced than humans, the more and more AI will do human thinking until human thinking is basically negligible. Now, this is one of these guys in Silicon Valley talking, and this is what the end game is. And what they've done is manipulate people, especially targeting the young. Why target the young? Because they're going to be the adults when this is meant to come in full blown, and they want them well programmed in terms of technology by then. So what you do is you get kids addicted to technology they hold, smartphones, tablets, brackets achieved, vastly. You then get technology on the body, Google Glass, Bluetooth, Apple Watches, etc. And then the next stage is what they call implantables, getting it in the body, which is where they've been aiming all along. This is why, people are standing in line in the dead of night to be one of the first to get the next stage of their technological imprisonment. Can't even wait till it gets light in the morning. They've got to be one of the first at 4 o'clock. This is the technological addiction that's going on, and it's gone for a reason. It's come on, kitty, 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 come on, kitty, kitty, kitty. And where it's leading is an AI human mind, and the whole internet thing and the Silicon Valley. That's its real reason for being.
Okay. Thanks, David. We have to probably leave it there, I'm afraid. Thanks very much for being with us. And you've got a new book coming out, Everything You Need to Know.
But I've never been told.
I've never been told.
And there's going to be a film called Renegade out in the spring, which is being made by an American film company, which I hope is going to get this information across to a lot of people who haven't looked at it so far.
Thanks, David Icke, for being with us today. And of course, his new book, as you heard, is called Everything You Need to Know But Have Never Been Told. And if you go to davidicke.com, you can find out more about his various publications and where he's speaking live. This is Newsvoice. This is the news app that brings you news from the left and the right and the center and everywhere else. And as well as us bringing you that news, you're the ones that suggest the news. You're the ones that submit the stories. You can also, of course, write headlines yourselves. You can write summaries. You can upvote stories you think are good. And you can join in the comments section and upvote other people's comments that you like. And make your own brilliant points as well, maybe with a link to back them up. You can do all that and more by downloading Newsvoice from your app store. So go along and do that right now. In the meantime, if you'd like us to interview anybody particularly, then why not send us your suggestion? Just drop us a line at keith@newsvoice.com. That's Keith, Keith, @newsvoice.com. Thanks for being with us today. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.